All right. Okay, folks, this is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. We're back, folks. Let's get the show started. All right, folks, it's Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to welcome you all to the show. It has been forever. I mean, literally, has been forever since I've been on the show. I want to thank you all for praying for me and sending up just great vibes and stuff like that for me. I've been sick for almost 2 weeks now. I know it's almost been 2 weeks. Um, I got and I'll tell you all about it, folks. It was just I went to my grandson's graduation a couple of weeks ago, and even my voice sounds deeper, doesn't it? Doesn't sound Barry White sexy. Yeah. So I went to my grandson's graduation, and when I went there, I the next day I felt like crap, literally like crap. Something happened. Somebody was there, and I was getting a little scratchy in the throat, that kind of stuff. And it got really bad. Then it got worse. Then it got worser, and all of a sudden I was like sick as a dog. And to make the matters worse, my wife got sick too. So she, of course, you know how wives are. Wives want to fix it all and stuff like that. So she wanted to stay with me and lay with me, and she got sick too. So we're both sick. So the Ray household had two sick puppies, and we did take a COVID test. And the interesting thing about those COVID tests, they're pretty darn accurate. They really are. Because the first thing it said was, no, I did not have COVID, which is great. It was a great relief to know I didn't have COVID. But I didn't know what I had. All I knew is I was feeling like death warmed over. You ever have the shakes? So that was me. I had the shakes, headachy, coughing, throat, the whole thing. I thought I was going to die. Like Rosanna Dana. I thought I was going to die. So, make a long story shorter, I found out that I had the flu. Yeah. So I never had the flu before. I know. Well, I don't get sick. I'm just one of those guys that just doesn't get really sick. I get colds. I get seasonal colds on occasion, but other than that, I actually had COVID. Excuse me. I actually had COVID right when it first started. Right when it first started, before got into the but the tootsie footsie, kind of COVID test or COVID stuff. I got sick then, but anyways, but I'm back now, folks. After 2 weeks, literally, I've missed so much ridiculous. Some of you probably were still getting our newsletters, which are great. So we never got to stop our newsletters, but literally, I could not speak. There's just no way. The voice was gone, and many of you just listened for the dulcet tones. I know you did. So, want to welcome everybody back to the show. If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, that kind of stuff, we are back, which is I'm so excited about that, folks. And hopefully, we will never be gone again. Uh, So, what's going on? So, for those of you, this might be your first time, and you're saying, "Who the heck is this guy?" And he's been rambling on for forever. I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. It comes out, quarterly, so we're out all the time. This is actually the cover of the magazine, which is great. And I've been seeing Kristen and Greg Bird up all over the place. They're traveling a lot. They're doing great. I'm hoping that it's as a result of being in our head of our magazine, that kind of stuff, which would be great. We also, I hope so, and we also put out Livin Weekly magazine, and this is the current issue of Livin Weekly magazine. And if you've not gotten it yet, folks, this is actually a very cool episode or issue of Livin Weekly magazine, and it's the murals of downtown Las Vegas. And so we went out and took a bunch of shots of some of the murals that are downtown. And I'll tell you, we've got a lot of them down there. We really do. Some of them better than others. Some of them more colorful. This is actually this one you're seeing right here is actually a mural that stretches like 40 feet. It's huge. It's just huge. And this is just a clip of it, but you got to check this out. So you can get any of those. You can actually just go to the Livin in Vegas website. So livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com. And you can actually you can download either the Livin in Vegas magazine or Livin Weekly. So either way, you can actually get them both there. Livin Weekly comes out weekly. The Livin in Vegas magazine has been, this one's been on the shelves for a couple of months now. Still just very relevant. We're working on our current issue of it right now, the new issue, which will be coming out in July. So very excited about it. It'll be a blockbuster issue. And so we got some really cool stories in there. And you will want to check that out. Okay, so let's pay a bill, and then we'll be back in a second. Hi everybody, it's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, we are back, folks. Hey, this is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. We were just talking about some of the murals from downtown and some of the cool stuff that's downtown. So if you go on our Livin in Vegas business page, our page, not the group page. A lot of you are on our group page right now. But you can actually go to our business page, and a lot of people have already seen this already. So it is a statue that I took a picture of a in front of somebody's office. It's a law office, and very cool. I mean, it really is cool. We're taking a lot more really cool snaps, a lot of great pictures of features in the downtown area, especially because there's so many cool things that are going on. And so you can go to our Livin. So if actually go to Livin in Vegas mag. Okay, just Google that in your Facebook page. Just Livin in Vegas mag. Go to that page. Of course, definitely like the page, and join the page, that kind of stuff. But it's the first picture up there, and I think you'll see it. We'll actually be adding a lot more of those kind of pictures. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share this over. Has it already been shared? Yeah, so I think it's already been shared over to the group page for Livin in Vegas. So, anyways, I wanted to show you that. Last announcement, folks. Livin Expos. So Livin Expos, folks, is we're in process right now of getting booths, vendors, that kind of stuff for the Vegas Livin Expos. So Vegas Livin Expos is our vendor events that we're going to be doing starting in August. August 3rd, we'll be starting those. And you will definitely want to be a part of that. So definitely we'll be sending out a lot of stuff on that lately. There's so many things that are going on. There really are just so many different things were going on. But we want to make sure you got to hear about that, because really the whole idea behind Livin in Vegas, the Vegas Livin Expos, is really about local business. It's about local business. It's about local lifestyle, living local. That's really what we're at. I know that the big thing has been lately to try to get people to go out, just to get people to go out, and because we've got higher gas prices. We'll be talking about that in just a second. Higher gas prices, higher car rentals, housing, the whole thing. And really, we're all in this together. We really are. And so it's not as though we don't care about large businesses. It's not that at all. But really, we think about small businesses, because that is the lifeblood of any local economy, or small businesses, okay? The restaurants, the bars, the where the hardware stores, that kind of stuff, the furniture stores, all those things are actually what drives an economy. I know there's always big businesses that are there. We have the large casinos and everything else, but literally, we would survive if there were not casinos here. Really, we would survive. We were now we definitely we want to keep the casinos here. There's no doubt about it. We want to keep the Raiders and all the great stuff that are here. We'll talk about sports here in just a second, but um, it's the local economy. That's where we're really at. So that's why we say when you think of living in Vegas, think living local. That's really where we're at, folks. And so we promote local businesses, the local economy, small businesses, that kind of thing. The university, UNLV. Nothing's happening at UNLV right now. They're out of school right now, and they'll be out for a little bit. But that's what we talk about a lot. Okay. Anyways, so let's talk about something really local, and that's about baby formula. So baby formula has been in the news lately, folks. This has been a tough one. This has been a tough one because of the pandemic, because of shortages, supply chains, the whole thing, and a government shutdown of one of the handful of baby formula suppliers. If you go to a store, there's a 50-50 chance that you're not going to have any luck finding baby formula. And so there is an organization that has been working to restock your supply of baby formula. And over the weekend, they were really working really hard on this too. Southern Nevada parents lined up in their cars starting at the crack of dawn on Saturday morning to get their hands on cans of baby formula during because of a nationwide shortage. There's nothing on the shelves, says Michael Aldalpa. This is a story by actually Fox 5. Yeah, and it says his baby can't sleep at night. So, Help of Southern Nevada held a event where they were handing out cans of baby formula to parents who could prove. I mean, you have to prove that you got kids and stuff like that. So you had to bring your birth certificate, that kind of stuff. So they did something over at Parkdale Recreation Center, and attendees had to show identification, proof of birth of the child, and so this is amazing. The event started at 8 o'clock, ran until noon. The one guy said he got there at 5 a.m. That's how. This is dire. This is just dire that that stuff like this has been going on. So, man, it's a tough one. I'm very lucky. This is one of the few things that has happened nationwide that has actually not affected me at all. Because all my kids are grown now. All my kids are not. I don't have babies anymore. As a matter of fact, my grandson just graduated high school, and I think my youngest grandchild, 8, 9 years old, something like that. Yeah. So it's the first time a nationwide something has not affected me, but it affects other people here in the valley. Here, before we get going here, folks, because we get so much to do, we're actually going to do the entire show. So I want to thank everybody who's already on the show. And say hello. That's fine. I mean, I'll say hello back to you if you really want to say hello. And there is a friend of mine, Tom McCourt, really good guy from Philadelphia, in the hospital right now. So I want to give him a shout out. And Tom got sick, and as a result of, I think it was and I can safely say this, as a reaction to a COVID shot. And we're not saying that the COVID shot's bad for everybody, really or not. But some people had definitely had reactions to it. I personally had a reaction to it. Myself, I can say it because it's me. I had actually heart palpitations as a result of one of the shots. And so other people did, and it happened to Tom also. And Tom has been in and out of the hospital since like last year. I went down to visit him Sunday, which was yesterday, and got to see Tommy Boy, my friend Tammy Tam. Love the guy, and got to hear his story. And we're really working hard to find some kind of way to help the guy out, because there's no reason why people should have to suffer through this, through sicknesses, uh, sicknesses that are caused by or as associated to pandemic shots or anything else. There's just really no reason for it. And Tom is a great guy. There's really, now this is a guy, so I know Tom doesn't want me telling everybody this, but this guy, Tom, is one of those guys, and this is very unusual, and especially because if you lived in Vegas a long time, you'll understand this. When I first met Tom, which was about 4 or 5 years ago, no, it was more than that now, shoot, about 5 years ago at least. Tom comes from Philadelphia, and the first thing he was looking for was a job, and he goes, "Hey, I'm looking for a nonprofit to work with." And I go, "Huh? I thought you're able-bodied guy. Why would you want to work for a nonprofit?" Well, in Tom's world, the way his mind works, working for nonprofits, giving back to veterans groups, CASA, those kind of organizations that work with the community are a part of his DNA. Okay, so Tom, his DNA is to help people. That's all he does. Okay, he's not looking to work at a diamond store, or he's working at an auto place, or selling whatever. He is there to help as a community activist, that kind of thing. And I think this is why my heart goes out to him, because he gets sick, and then all of a sudden lawyers go, "Well, we can't help you because you know what? There's not enough money in it for me." Okay, so that's, and I won't go on with that. Okay, but we're going to do everything we can. So if you're an attorney, especially you're a malpractice medicine attorney, contact me, please, 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 please. Okay, just contact me at info@livininvegas.com. That's info. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it up here. Let's put my email up there real quick. Okay, let's get rid of you, and we'll put my email. Contact me at info@livininvegas.com. info@livininvegas.com. If you're an attorney, or you know of a great attorney who specializes in medical malpractice, okay, Tommy McCourt needs you. Okay, well, I'm going to be reaching out to a lot more of my friends, but I figure I got the show on this morning. We're reaching out to hundreds of thousands of millions of people across the fruited plain. So contact me because Tommy McCourt needs you. Okay. So anyways, I visited Tom, got his story. We will talk more about Tom as time goes by, because I think he, of all people, needs somebody to help him out. Okay, really do. Okay. So what else we got going on? Oh, there's so much going on here, folks. Many of you heard this story recently, and this is what a devastating story. This is Justin Terry, Detective Justin Terry. Many of you heard over the weekend that they've been doing work up north here in Vegas, up in the I wouldn't say Skyline area, but it's on the other side of Skyline, so it's on the other side of the 95 area, the eastern side of 95. So they've been working on this almost like a spaghetti bowl of overpasses in that area, and they've been working on it for years. Well, they are a certain height out there, those spaghetti bowl type archways to have people drive over the top. And many of you, if you're living in Vegas, you know what I'm saying, spaghetti bowl. Spaghetti bowl is basically, a bunch of arterials, roadways, overpasses, underpasses, that kind of stuff, and look like a spaghetti bowl. And that's what we call our spaghetti bowl here in Vegas. Well, they've been working on the same sort of thing out in the northern end of the valley to facilitate people getting from the 95 onto the 215. It's just a big spaghetti bowl type of thing of cars, of roadway. Detective Terry happened to be driving on that road when a crossbeam, which had been hit by a large vehicle, clipped that thing, fell off of it, landed on his car, killed him instantly. Yeah. When we heard about this, we were watching the news. I'm sick as a dog, and this happened a couple of days ago. And we thought, oh my gosh, who the heck was this poor guy? This poor Joe, driving his car, smash, top of his car. Well, it was detective, 20-year veteran, Justin Terry. who happened to be at the wrong place, the wrong time. 45-year-old guy, father of two, husband. He's going to be laid to rest to June 20th. So they're having visitation for him June 17th, which is Saturday, 4 to 8 o'clock at Palm Cheyenne Mortuary, 8400 West Cheyenne Avenue. And then he's going to have funeral services over at Central Christian, 10 a.m. This is just a sad It's just a sad story that this guy who's been, he's been sitting in. He's been on the force for 20 years. Could have been shot any place. I mean, he could have been killed defending the valley. He just happened to be driving in his unmarked car. Man, that sucks. So the accident is under investigation. We're not casting blame right now, folks. But there's already people reaching out to the Terry family to their condolences, see what they can do to help this guy out. Something tells me, and if we hear about something that is going to happen with this story, also with the family, to help this family, there's no way to replace him, but we just feel bad that he's gone. Over up in Mount Charleston, folks, they're actually having an outage up there, and this outage, we want to make sure we got this in now because it's actually going on right now. And it'll go on until about 9 a.m. where they're doing a public safety outage, and I think what they're doing is they're probably just testing. Oh, sorry, that's right in front of my face. We don't want that right in front of my face, do we? Let's get that out of it. There we go. Some of you like looking at me, right? So they're having a. So they're I don't know why they're having this. They really didn't explain what the heck this is. We have to look into this. And can we look at this? Yeah, we'll find out why they're having this outage. They are having customers who are being impacted by this. They can actually go up to the retreat, which is over on Charleston Peak. It used to be one of my customers years ago when I was a electrician. Had a coffee shop. Matter of fact, let's talk about something else here real quick, folks. We went out to right at the tail end of feeling sick for the flu that I had. Many of you know that I had the flu, and I tried to explain that ad nauseum before we got going here. Went over to visit a new customer. They're actually going to be on the cover of our magazine, Bad Beat Brewing Company. So went out there to Bad Beat to talk to the owner. His name is Nathan Hall. Nathan, what a stud. I mean, the guy's cool. Got such a great story. You're going to want to read this current edition of Livin in Vegas magazine. You're going to want to read it. We'll actually air, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, we're going to air the interview that we had with Nathan. And it will be kind of a precursor to their magazine article that they're going to be a part of Livin in Vegas magazine. Great story that we did on this guy. One of the things that I'm always intrigued about, that gets me every time, is that when I talk to business owners and I speak to business owners about how they got started, what got you going, that kind of stuff. To a man, it doesn't matter whether they're a multi-million-dollar business owner, which a friend of mine, Ken Alber, is. Ken Alber is the one of the principals, the founders. Oh, he's not anymore. He's not a principal of Penta anymore. Penta Building Group. Those are the guys who did T-Mobile. They've done Caesar's Palace. They've done some huge builds here in the Valley. Arguably one of the largest construction firms in Las Vegas. Whether it's Penta, whether it is the Horse Trailer Hideout, okay, or in between, all of them have the same story. It is so remarkable that I'm going to write a book about business owners and how they get started, because I've interviewed interviewed a lot of them. But it's not as though they go out and they put together this great business plan and they spend years and years studying and mentoring under somebody and apprenticing under somebody, that kind of stuff. I've never seen. I've just never seen that. Okay, I know it happens. People do it all the time, but the people I've spoken to who have become very wildly successful, and well, you're going to read that story in the upcoming edition of Livin in Vegas magazine. That's right. You'll have to read the story. You'll have to read the story to find out how it happened. Okay. Let's talk about some of my friends over at. Actually, this is not a picture of Pro Cyclery. Okay, this is actually a stock picture. But bike sales, not surprisingly, have been going up. Okay, and the potential for more bike sales is going through the roof because of the gas prices that have happened here locally. Many of you know this already. I don't have to tell you this. Las Vegas has the second highest gas prices in the nation. What? I gotta throw my hands up. Here's the crazy thing about it, folks. Las Vegas has less than 2.5 million people in it. Okay. New York City has like 16 million just in New York City. Las Vegas, the entire state of Nevada, has a little over 3 million people in our entire state. Okay? We're the fifth largest state in the union. Yes, we are. But most people don't, there's nobody even living here. Okay? Nobody even lives in Vegas or in the state of Nevada. Okay? That's the interesting thing about it. 13 counties. Okay, I know this stuff. Okay? 13 counties, about 3.2 million people, entire state of Nevada. Of course, we keep getting the people from California, we keep getting from Oregon, and everybody else moves in here. But there are not a lot of people living here. So somebody tell me, why do we have the second highest gas prices in the friggin' nation? Okay, somebody tell me that. Governor Sisolak, please tell me. Why do we, who have one of the best business climates in the nation, we don't have property tax, we don't have business taxes, or excuse me, state taxes like a lot of people do, and yet we have the second highest gas price in next to California? Just because we're next to California, is that why? Okay. As a result of these gas prices, I know I could go on. I really could. I could just go on and on and on, and I would lose all my time. As a result of it, people are buying more bikes. I'll end on this. Go to Pro Cyclery, okay? Go to Las Vegas Cyclery. Go to McGee's. Go to all of the local places, folks, and get yourself a bike, okay? I'm going to actually be riding this week. I'm finally well enough where I can actually ride my bike, which is so glad. I've been so hurt, just hurt. As a matter of fact, my buddy Daryl, who's the owner of Walker Furniture, calls me up and says, "Hey, Sherman, let's go riding." I go, "Dude, I'm sick as a dog. I cannot go riding. There's no way I can go riding." And he goes, "Oh, dude, hope you feel better. Hope you can make it." He's having a party over at his house here in a couple of days. I said, "I'm ready to party with you, so I'm going to stay undercover until this is done." Okay. Anyways, folks, we're done. We are. I know. Because I'll keep talking. Anyways, if you are on our mailing list, folks, you will get all the rest of the stuff that I didn't get to talk to about today. And if not, send me an email. Okay, send me an email at info@livinvegas.com. It's info@livinvegas.com. Get on our mailing list. Okay, get on our mailing list because you'll want to get some of the cool stuff that we're going to be starting out this summer as it continues to move forward. So many cool things going on, and you won't know about it unless you're here. I mean, unless you get something from me. Okay. Anyways, we're done, folks. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Thank you, God, for clearing my lungs enough so I can actually speak for a half an hour and be able to do this. And we've got other things that we're going to be doing, folks. I'm going to be sitting in for another show that we're going to be doing for a friend of ours. So busy. busy. Okay. Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to thank you all for being a part of the show. We will see you again tomorrow where we'll talk about the people, places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of living in Vegas, folks, think living local. We'll talk to you later.